Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Nick Harkson here on Touchdown Detroit Lions over here on Syndicate Sports Detroit. How is everybody doing? We already got some people in the comments. I love it. What's up, Michael Joe? What's up, Lions Fan Express? Let's get it. I'm with you. Robin's Nest, what's going on? Game on? Yeah, we've had a crazy week. I already touched on a few free agent signings last week, but this week we went nuts. Brad Holmes is cooking. I cannot believe what we're doing right now. I am so excited for the Lions' upcoming season. I'm just so proud to be a Lions fan right now. It feels great, and we haven't even started the season yet. We haven't even stepped into the facility. We haven't even started training camp. None of that. It hasn't happened, and I am so excited for this next year of football. I'll let some more people get in here before we touch completely on it, but you guys know what's up. You guys know what's been happening. We've been out there acquiring some people, bringing back some people, and we'll talk about the people that I've already mentioned last week that happened before my episode last week. I'm talking about we got Cam Sutton, we got Emmanuel Moseley, and we brought back Anzalone, Bugs, Kaminsky, Matt Nelson, Craig Reynolds, and Will Harris. I know we brought back more, but I'm talking about what we already talked about. Just with those additions before the start of last week, I was already happy with that. Of course, I absolutely love the addition of Cam Sutton. I think that guy is ready to go. He means business. He's where he wants to be. And, I just think he's going to make a huge difference for this team. I also think Emmanuel Moseley will do great. He was hurt, but that's kind of Brad Holmes' specialty, going out and giving guys a second chance, giving them a one-year deal to kind of prove what they got. And that's what I think we got with Moseley there, and I think he's going to ball out. And then, of course, bringing back Anzalone, Bugs, Kaminsky, Matt Nelson, Craig Reynolds, Will Harris. I love them all. I love Bugs and Kaminsky the most. I think they're just the guys who will probably contribute the most to the team or make the biggest difference. I mean, I'm no disrespect to the other guys, especially not Anzalone either. Just the 3-year deal kind of surprised me. But I'm glad to have him back because he does know this defense like the back of his hand. Like I've said, him and Aaron Glenn are on the same page. He can really teach these new guys coming in the defense pretty quickly. And, like I said, last week he's responsible for the quick development of Malcolm Rodriguez, so he can help these other guys learn quick that are just coming in. But if we get new guys like a new linebacker, which I'm hopefully we do go that way, which we'll get more into down the road in this episode. But Anzalone is valuable there. So what do you guys think before we move on any further? I'll answer this question later. We got a lot more to talk about. But do you guys agree? I didn't ask this last week. Do you guys agree with the 3-year deal for Anzalone? I know a lot of you guys like bringing him back, but do you guys agree with the 3-year deal? All right. Here we go. Let's get into some dirt. We're going to start it off. What's up, Kim? That's my mother. Hello, Mom. Braylon, what's up? Robin's Nest. The draft. We are going to get into the draft. The draft is crazy. We've already acquired so many guys, which I'm about to talk about right now. But the draft, we have not even gotten there yet, and we all know how Brad Holmes does in the draft. I hope he can three-peat that with 3 great draft classes. I hope he just gets better. But, yeah, the draft is where it's at. What's going on, Brian? I'm seeing all these comments coming in right now, so just saying what's up. But, yeah, I'm gonna take a little sip of my water real quick before I get into this because this has kind of got me frustrated, but not so much anymore. We're going to talk about some dirt. We talked about some culture guys that we brought back. I'm talking about Anzalone, Kaminsky, Bugs. No, I'm talking about another guy who has been a culture guy for the last few years, but he's not on the Lions anymore. I'm talking about Jamaal Williams. Yes, I'm going to address Jamaal Williams because I haven't had the opportunity to talk about this yet on my episode. Last week, I was still hoping to bring him back. And from the sounds of it, we could have, because according to Dave Burkett, we offered him a similar deal to what we gave Montgomery. Look at this right here in the Detroit Free Press. I'm going to start from the underlined spot. It says the Lions attempted to re-sign Williams and offered him a contract similar to the one they gave Montgomery, but pivoted to Montgomery as Williams' agent shopped the market for better deals. All right, so it looks more like, we gave him the offer that we thought he should have, and then he was like, no, not good enough. Obviously he said that because in his press conference, he called our offer disrespectful. Now that's where I'm baffled because he signed with the Saints 3 years for $12 million. And if our offer was close to the one that we gave Montgomery at 3 years, $18 million, then wouldn't he be making more if he came with the Lions? How is ours disrespectful if you're making less in New Orleans? That's what I just don't get about this whole thing. So I want to know the real deal. I wish I could see the numbers for myself, and I wish they'd be more transparent because obviously somebody is lying here is what I feel like. And I don't think it's the Lions. I'm just being biased. And I love Jamaal. Don't get me wrong. I loved what he did for the team. He contributed a lot of touchdowns for us. But, I can't believe he was in that press conference kind of throwing shade at us saying, we didn't really want him back. The offer was disrespectful. But then our boy Dave Burkett's out here saying that we're offering him almost the same contract. So what's really happening here? I'm wondering if Jamaal actually didn't want to come back and maybe he's playing the blame game. Maybe he doesn't want to look like the bad guy because the fans did love him and still do, a lot of them. But maybe he never wanted to come back because in his presser, he did say, he kind of manifested this going to New Orleans. And he just ran into an old coach and said, see you soon. That's what he said. But maybe he always wanted to leave after this year and seek that bigger contract, and he didn't get it. The Lions did give him a deadline, which might have been the disrespectful part to him. But if you're given a deadline at any company, any business, you got to reach that deadline or consequences are going to happen. If it's in school, you're going to get a lower grade. If it's at work, you're going to get in trouble. That's what happens. You got to hit the deadline. You got to reach your deadline if you want to come back with the team that you want to be with. And, I don't know if it was his agent or him, but either way, they dropped the ball. And I just hope he's not being sour right now. I've heard that he's saying a few other things. I haven't seen it at all other than what he said in the presser. But come on, Jamaal, have some more class than that, man. We loved you, dude. And a lot of the fans really wanted you back. So there's no need to throw shade. I just think that somebody dropped the ball, and it looks like it was on your side. So no need to be mad at the Detroit Lions organization, especially if they offered you something similar to Montgomery. Now, with that being said, I think this all worked out in our favor. I love that we picked up Montgomery. We didn't wait. He's a great back. He's younger. He's 25. And he's an upgrade. Jamaal Williams did score a lot of touchdowns for us. He did have a 1,000-yard rushing season for us. But when you looked at how he ran, he kind of ran with no purpose. I touched on this last week before we even decided we were moving on from him. He would just get the ball and he would run straight. He would go to whatever hole he was told, which, is the play. But he really didn't have any vision. He just relied on that line to hopefully have that hole open, and he was going to hit it. And if it wasn't open, he was just going to go there anyways. 5 guys, no guys, the whole team right there, that's where Jamaal's going. I think Montgomery definitely brings more vision. He breaks tackles like no other. He was behind a Bears offensive line that was horrible. So I am so excited to see him behind our offensive line that is supposed to be one of the better ones in the league. And by the way, we just beefed up a little bit more. I'll touch on that right now. We just brought Graham Glasgow back to Detroit on a 1-year deal worth $4.5 million. And, I'm really happy they did that. But to see, that's all I'm going to say about that. Congrats, Graham. Way to get back. Get your contract. Be back in Detroit. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you are the man once again. But anyways, Montgomery, I cannot wait to see what he does behind this line. I know he's excited. He's not going to bring that same kind of fieriness that maybe Jamaal did in the locker room, but I'll trade in that for what I think Montgomery's going to do on the field. We have plenty of other leaders in the locker room. It's time for other guys to maybe step up. I know Amon-Ra St. Brown can be a leader all day. Jared Goff, Bugs is a leader. Anzalone, we got leaders there. We're going to be okay, guys. Jamaal was passionate. I loved him. Don't get me wrong, but we're going to be fine because Montgomery is going to go out there and he's going to ball out. I'm going to go ahead and already say this. I think it would be a disappointment if Montgomery stays healthy most of the season. I'm not saying it's a disappointment if he stays healthy. So let me reword this. I think it would be a disappointment if Montgomery didn't rush for 1,000 plus yards this year. Now, of course, he has to stay healthy for the whole season. That's what I was trying to say. Not even the whole season, just most of the season. But I think it would be a disappointment with his skill set in our line, in our offense and all that, for him to rush less than 1,000 yards this year. I just see big things for him with our passing game, the way that it's already set up. We got Ben Johnson back. I just see great things happening for this offense. Now, more things can happen. We can add more weapons. We can regain a weapon, which I'm going to touch on here in a second. But, I just see good things, great things happening for Montgomery here in Detroit, and we got him for 3 years. I'm going to look in the comments. I've been seeing you guys kind of going off here, so let me look at that real quick, and then I'll come back to what I have to say. Fumbled the bag. Yeah, I agree. That's the agent and Jamaal both dropped the ball. They fumbled the bag big time, and hey, I think it's a come up for us, and especially if he wants to throw shade at the organization and at the city. Move on. We're done with you now. I loved you. Now it don't matter if you want to be that way, Jamaal. Sorry. All right, Perry Ball. Maybe Brad Holmes offered him maybe a 2-year deal, not a 3-year deal. You could be right. See, that's why I really want to know what the numbers were. I should, calm myself down going at Jamaal like that because he did a lot of good things for Detroit. I can't believe that he called the offer disrespectful. So that's why I really want to know the real numbers. I wish they would release them so then we can know what's really going on. I know it will never happen. It's going to be a mystery probably for the rest of our lives. Who cares? I think we upgraded, like I said. Time to move forward, keep this train moving in the right direction towards playoff wins, towards hopefully a Super Bowl here in the near future. But I do think that it was an upgrade no matter what. But I would like to see those numbers. Here we go. Yeah, I think he was, and also you said you thought he was going to get more because he was a fan favorite. I agree, and I'll touch on this a little bit too. I thought we were going to bring him back just for the fact that we're trying to prove that we reward our players for successful seasons because we've been notorious for being bad at that with Barry, with Calvin Johnson, who they're apparently making happy again. So, which I don't have any news on that. I don't know if they paid him or anything, but I know that he loves Dan Campbell and he wants to get back in there and work with the guys. So it seems like maybe they did do something there to squash some beef. But anyways, I thought that they would sign Jamaal just to kind of prove, hey, we are rewarding our players now. But they did that with other players. And this is why I feel like maybe Jamaal wanted to go because we don't know the real offer. But if Dave Burkett, I trust that guy with his reports. He's 99.9% right most of the time. I just think that maybe Jamaal wanted to go, and he's kind of trying not to look like the bad guy. Who knows? I don't know anything. Maybe he's mad at his agent, and he's taking it out on us. I don't know anything about it. Maybe he did get a terrible offer, and we're lying. I don't know. I really don't know. But we're going to move on because we're moving on from Jamaal. And we're going to move into some big time news. As you all know, we just landed one of the best defensive backs in the league. I'm talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The guy is an absolute beast, and I cannot believe he is on the Lions. I did not see this one coming. The guy he's a hybrid. Not only can he play safety, he can play outside corner. You can put him out there on the island. He can play nickel. So we get a hybrid D-back here. And he's elite at every single one of those positions. And I saw this today, which just baffled me. I got to show you this stat. Swagoo on NFL Network, on ESPN, he posted this stat. And this is, look at this. With C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the field, the QBR is 20 points less than when he's not on the field. The touchdown to interception ratio is insane. It's 10-14 when he's on the field, and then 12-3 when he's off. That's crazy. That's a crazy difference. Yards per attempt, 5.6 to 8.2. And this is one guy. This is one guy we're talking about being on the field right here, making that much of a difference. And now he's on the Lions. And we not only added him, we got Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley already that we added last week. This DB room is stacked. This is the first time, maybe ever, that I can say that we have depth at DB. It's been a long time for sure, and I'm talking about major depth. I'm excited to see what we do here. It's going to be very interesting because look at this. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, Jerry Jacobs, Tracy Walker, Kirby Joseph, Jeff Okudah, Will Harris, Ife Melinfawu, Chase Lucas. I mean, we're stacked there. I'm curious to see which way we go. Are we gonna put CJ out there on an island? Is he gonna be a nickel? Is he gonna be a safety for us? What's this mean for Tracy Walker? Is Tracy Walker gonna start at safety? I don't know. Is Kirby Joseph gonna start at safety? This is gonna be crazy. And what does it mean for Jeff Okudah as well? He last year was a starting corner. And now he's going to he's back there now in the depth chart. And I think this, no matter what, this is a good thing. It just creates so much competition there in the DB room that they're all going to have to ball out to be on that field. And I think we're going to, we'll use each one of them in the way that they should be used. But this is great. We've always been worried about, oh man, if he goes out, there's nobody behind him. Well, now it's not really like that. I hope nobody goes out, but we have depth at the D-back position, which is amazing. I know Aaron Glenn, Dre Bly, they're just grinning from ear to ear right now. I am too. I cannot believe that we went out and made these moves. But I'm going to hop right back into the comments here. We're going to talk more. We're going to get into the draft. But we're going to hop into the comments, see what you guys have to say here. They've been done with me. That's the part I didn't like. Yeah, all right, we're talking back about Jamaal Williams. Yeah, I didn't like that either. He said they've been done with me. I don't know what that's about. If we offered him a contract at all, obviously we're not done with him. I mean, if we offered him a $1 million, two-year deal, that's very disrespectful for sure. But I don't know how we could have been done with him, and I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. I don't see it. So there's something going on, and I'm back on Jamaal Williams between the two that didn't sit right with either one of them, or one party at least, and the deal just didn't get done. Here we go. We're still talking Jamaal. The team offers market value. Let's get him running back in the draft. Yeah, all right. I'm going to get back to my story because we're going to go into the draft, and I'm going to answer a lot of these questions that you got right now going on. But before we get to the draft, we're going to talk about, we did re-sign a few other guys. We got our boy CJ Moore back, who did say he had an offer from New England, and that's where he thought he was going when his agent called him and he picked up the phone. But he found out he was coming back to Detroit, and he was relieved. It brought tears to his eyes. How times have changed pretty much, because it's crazy that players are saying they want to stay in Detroit instead of go to New England. Didn't used to be that way. Love how the culture is changing. Proves it right there. We also brought back Badgley as a kicker, and we got him a new long snapper as well in Jake McQuaid, who is a Pro Bowl long snapper. I did see a few botched long snaps last year. That could have possibly altered some kicks. So good move on the Lions to go out and get a Pro Bowl snapper, long snapper, to ensure that we get that ball there right for Badgley to kick it. All right, a little more news here as far as free agency, but and with our own guys. Romeo Okwara took a significant pay cut of $9 million this year, and that really helps out the team a lot. That might have been used to go out and get C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But, that just proves that he's a team player, and I'm glad that he will be on the team this next year. That gives us more depth. If he can go back to how he played before he had his Achilles injury, we're going to be nasty on defense. But we already are. But I'm just saying, Romeo can be a great contribution if he plays like he did before he got hurt. Or even close to it. Even if he fell off a little bit, just a tiny bit, he's going to be good. All right, Jack Fox also took a pay cut. $1.6 million in cap space. But, so according to Over the Cap, and I'll bring up this stat right here, they have it posted that we have $22 million and some change left in cap space. Now, other reports say otherwise. This is just according to Over the Cap. They are a credible source, though. They're pretty up to date. They say we have $22 million, but according to Justin Rogers over here, he estimates after, the draft picks and whatnot that we have about $15.9 million in cap space. Either way, we're still looking good and we can still make some moves. Now, a guy that I want us to go out and get who we had last year is DJ Chark. I think it would be just, if we brought back Chark, our offense would be set. I know it already kind of is, but if we got him there, him and Goff already have chemistry. We're on our way to another huge year on offense, and we're setting up the defense for success already. I just think it's a no-brainer if we got the money. Now, I know that the Panthers are offering him or are looking at him as well. I don't know if they offered him anything yet. But, Panthers, get out of here. You're always trying to take our guys. I told you they want to be the Lions. They can't grow a mane. But, Chark, I just think it would be, I don't want to bring him back for too much, but it would be worth it to bring him back because he was valuable towards the end of the season. He was just so clutch on third downs, and him and Goff had that connection. It just seemed like, Goff could throw it with his eyes closed, and Chark would be where he wanted him to be. So I just think it would be good to bring him back. Now, if we don't bring Chark back, let's get into it. The draft. I personally think if we don't bring Chark back, we should go wide receiver in the draft. Now, whether that be first round, second round, wherever, there are good wide receivers in this draft, but we could set up this offense for years to come by getting a top receiver in this draft if Chark's not there. And I will say with our free agency, the way we've been doing it already, we've set ourselves up for success to pretty much go in any direction. Now, I want to go best player available. And let's talk about it. I saw some mock drafts today. Mel Kiper's latest mock draft has us taking Jalen Carter at 6 and Myers, the tight end from Notre Dame, at 18. It would definitely fill some needs, but I will pass on both of those picks. Then I saw DJ from ESPN or NFL Network. He had us at 6, taking Witherspoon, the cornerback from Illinois, and then Clancy, the D lineman from Pittsburgh. I like that a lot better. I know that our D-back room is already stacked, but at the same time, we got 2 guys on 1-year deals, and I don't know if we're bringing both of them back. We'll probably hopefully bring one of them back, and I'm talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, depending on how he plays. And maybe we bring both of them back, depending on how they play, because I think our cap's going to be sitting pretty nice next year. But, I don't think it's a bad move bringing in Devin Witherspoon, even though we already brought in all these corners. Jeff Okudah might be gone next year. You just never, and Will Harris is on a 1-year contract. It never hurts to have depth and to develop a young corner, especially when you don't know how long these other guys are going to be there. So get a corner at 6, one of the best ones, and have them train under these really good guys that we just brought in. And, I don't think it's a bad move at all. Just go best player available. At 18, rather have Clancy over a tight end. I think the tight end position's going to be there in later rounds, or at least in the third. I think there's going to be a good tight end that we can get. I would not go tight end at 18, not in the first round. I don't like it. That's just me personally, not a draft guru, but I would rather go with the other draft over Mel Kiper's. Not saying Mel Kiper doesn't know what he's talking about, but I like the other one better. And how do you guys feel about Jalen Carter? He was projected to be the top pick off the board when the Bears were the first pick. And then, of course, things happen. He has some issues off the field, but we're surrounding him with a lot of good guys. And these guys can guide him. The talent was there in college. Now, can it translate to the NFL? I think so if he can get focused. I won't be mad if we draft him. I would rather pass just with all of his issues. I'm not one of those guys, though. Like, if we get him, I'm not going to be like, I'm done with the organization. Throw it out the window. We got a crook. No. No. We can change him. But I maybe would pass. But at the same time, I want us to trade back. That's what I want to do. I don't even want to be at 6. I heard there's a rumor that the Raiders want to move up. So I want to move to 7. And Jalen Carter would probably still be there. But regardless, we're going to get some more. And I don't know who we should go with at 6 or 18 anymore. I have to do another mock to really evaluate this. And then I'll come back and let you guys know. So maybe that'll be next week. I'll do my mock 2.0 after the first few weeks of free agency. But yeah, it's tough to see or say who we're going to get now with what we've been doing in the draft. If we passed on corner with the first few picks now, that's who I had us at 18 before. I would definitely not be mad because we made that move in free agency. Now, one way that I do feel like we might go now, and a lot of people might be mad, but we might go quarterback now. I know Goff's the guy. He knows the offense, but he's gonna want an extension. He's gonna want a lot of money, especially if he has another successful year. And he's already owed a lot of money. So they might go quarterback just to sit behind Goff this year, maybe next year. Maybe Goff's gone next year, depending on how we do this year and depending on how our quarterback develops if we get one. But a backup quarterback is at need. We filled a lot of holes in free agency. I would not be surprised if at pick 6, we go with a quarterback of the future. How would you guys feel? Do you guys want a quarterback at pick 6 now with the way that we did what we did in free agency? Would you be mad if you don't want one at 6 and we did go that way? I want to know what you guys have to say in the comments. I'm going to look in the comments because we've got a lot of them right here that I haven't touched on yet. But yeah, here we go. Draft a QB at 6. Laugh out loud. We just talked about that. Williams is a hypocrite, plain and simple. Yeah. The darn. We'll talk about this afterwards. We'll talk about shows. But yeah, competition is always great. Iron sharpens iron. We're talking about the D-Re room. I agree with you there, David. Robin's Nest. We ended up with an Eagle defensive back. Amazed it wasn't Slay. I know. Now, did you guys see that whole back and forth thing with Slay? Slay was over here like, oh, I guess they don't want me. I'm moving on. I requested a trade, all this stuff, and then he ends up back with the Eagles. I thought that it was all kind of funny. I would have liked to have had Slay in Detroit, but I think that this is the better D-back. No disrespect to Slay. I love Slay. I got a Slay jersey in my closet hanging up right now, and I would have busted it back out if he came back to Detroit. But Slay's a lot older than CJ, and CJ, he's a hybrid. He's the man. He's one of a kind. Not to say that Slay isn't. Like I said, I have nothing but love for big play Slay. But yeah, I'm really glad that we got CJ Gardner-Johnson. All right, who's out here? Hold on. For a backup quarterback, we should pick up Colin Kaepernick. That ship has sailed, is all I got to say. He's right now, he would have been a good backup quarterback about 3 to 5 years ago, but I think his time is done in the NFL. I'm not going to get political with it. I thought he was a good quarterback and that he should have been in the league and done what he did. But no way. Don't bring him back into this league, not into Detroit as a backup quarterback right now. He hasn't played an NFL game in so long. That's all I got to say about that. Done with that. All right. Shark is a great player, but is a high risk. It will be interesting to see how much he gets paid. I agree with you on that, Lions Fan Express. I hope he's not asking for too much money because he was hurt for a lot of the season last year, and that is a thing with Shark is that he hasn't stayed healthy throughout a lot of his career. I would hope that he doesn't take much more than what we paid him last year, and I wouldn't expect him to. He missed so much of the season. So if we can get him back on a good deal, I love it. I would love to lock him up for 2 years. I'm not going to lie. But I think that he needs to come to terms with he's not the healthiest player. When he is, he's great. Or he's not great. He's good. He was good for us. But he needs to prove that he can stay healthy before he locks up a big-time contract. So I agree with you there. He is kind of a liability. He's risky. All righty. All right. Here we go. I hope we can trade down at 6 and 18. Okay, I wouldn't mind trading back a few times. Just get more picks, especially with what we did with free agency. We definitely upgraded, and we proved at the end of the season that this team already, with the players that they have, that they're already a force. And if we got into the playoffs last year, we might have won a game. Who knows? I mean, they had a lot of fight in them, and that speaks a lot on the coaching staff as well. But now we're rolling. They know what it takes. Bring in a few more pieces. We're there, and then we got the draft. If we can just load up on picks, I think that's the best way to go. So trading back at 6 and 18 or either one, I don't think that's a bad move at all. I don't want to trade up. That's what Perry Ball says. Yeah, I see a lot of people out there wanting to trade up to number 3. They want to trade our 6 and 18 for the 3rd pick to Arizona because we want to go and get Will Anderson is what I am assuming what you're talking about. I see a lot of people saying that. I don't want to trade away both of our picks. I think we need to use both of them. Having 2 first-round picks is valuable, and we can get 2 guys who can come in and hopefully make day one right off the bat. Just they can be great from day one. I won't be shocked if we make a crazy move like that because Will Anderson, he does look like he's got all the tools to be a game changer. Now, whether or not Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell believe that is another story because, like we all saw, Dan Campbell only met 4 guys at the combine that he interviewed that he thought had the it factor. So if Will Anderson's one of those guys and the other guys they feel like they can get in later rounds, maybe we do trade up because maybe they feel like the rest of this draft class, at least in the first round, isn't worth it, and they think that Will Anderson's better than both those guys put together. But me personally, I'm with you. I don't want to trade up. I would not trade up. Long spiel just for me to say I wouldn't trade up. Here we go. Trade back a few spots. Get Cansey and either an edge or maybe Bijan at 18. I would not mind Bijan Robinson at 18 at all. I know we got Swift. A lot of guys want to trade Swift. I saw that earlier for more picks. What exactly, I want to know. And I'm not trying to be mean, but what exactly do you guys think that we could get for DeAndre Swift? The rest of the league sees exactly what we're seeing. I mean, I know he's got potential there, but he hasn't stayed healthy. And honestly, I mean, he's put in productive years, but do you think that, like, a lot of people are out here saying, let's get a 2nd and a 3rd for Swift? It's not happening. That's not happening. No one's going to give up 2 picks for DeAndre Swift. If they are, they're going to be the 6th and the 7th. It's not going to be what you guys want. So I think we're better off keeping Swift. And I think the Montgomery Swift combo is going to be a great 1-2 punch, especially if Swifty can actually stay healthy, which I think he can. He's got a lot to prove to us as far in that department. But the guy, when he's healthy, has shown flashes of greatness. And just to have that ability to be able to at any time break a big run like he can. We need a guy like that. He's a good third down back. He can be that this year with Montgomery. He's going to be a true third down back. He's not going to be the main guy. So I think this year he should stay a lot more healthy. But if you think that we can get a second round or a third round for Swift, I think that you're wrong. And if you that's all I got to say about that. Here we go, though. We got a guy. You would take a 6th round pick and just get rid of Swift? Is that what you're saying, David? I wouldn't do that. John Peterson, 5th round for Swift. Wouldn't do it. Who's going to be your third down back? You trusting Craig Reynolds? If we go out and get Bijan Robinson, then yeah, Swift. But I don't know if that's the plan. And a lot of people are putting Bijan Robinson at the Bears at 9. So if you want Bijan, maybe you have to get him at 6 or 7. And I don't know if that's worth it there either. A lot of you guys say, no, I don't want him unless he's at 18. Well, he might go before 18. So you can't just trade Swift and then hope to have Bijan. That's just what I'm saying. I think we're better off keeping Swift on his last rookie contract, even if he turns up to be the 3rd string running back and we get Bijan. You're better off just keeping him, in my opinion. That's just me. I love what you guys are saying, but that's just me. That's how I feel. We all have our own opinions. I'm not an expert out here. I'm not the guy in the locker room. I don't know what they're talking about, so I love what you guys are saying. Here we go. More into the comments. Some guys, the key is, can Swift stay healthy? We all know that. Keep Swift. He's more productive than any 6th or 7th rounder. Exactly. That's how I feel too. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, I feel exactly the same. No need to go out. And, unless we get Bijan. But I think Swift is way more valuable of a player than any position player at 6th or 7th. I know that Houston, our guy this year, the problem, we got him in the 6th, and he ended up being a problem for other teams. But that's rare. That's very rare for that to happen. And if Swift, like I've just said, if he can stay healthy, the guy has the ability to be one of the top backs in the league. Before he got injured last year, he was on his way. He was, I think, behind Jonathan Taylor, he was the 2nd best running back in the league through 3 weeks, and then he got hurt. So he's got value there. And if we got Montgomery, we got our number 1 running back. Swift can go out there, be our 3rd down back, catch the passes, come in when we need them, and it's going to work. No need to get rid of the guy. Here we go. Tyrese. It's not a third. If it's not a 3rd round pick, keep Swift. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we could get a 2nd or 3rd for him all day, then Swift, I'm sorry. You were one of my favorite players. I have a Swiftie jersey, the alternate one, the gray one. And I'm actually right now wearing his sweatshirt that you can't see me. I support Swift, but if we get a 2nd or 3rd for him, then yeah, it's time to move on, especially with the 3-year Montgomery deal. We got our running back 1 for the next 3 years, unless Swift can beat him in practice, which if he does, he does. Okay. Another one. Carter at 6 if he's there. All right, we got that guy. And I said I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it if we get him. I don't know who else would be better. A lot of people want the edge out of Texas Tech, Tyree Wilson. And I wouldn't mind having him as well, but we're just going to see what they do. We're set up for success right now in the draft, and I just trust what Brad Holmes is going to do. I love what we did in free agency already because this draft is going to be insane for us. I just see good things coming. Now, I'm going to knock on wood right now because you never know what can happen in the NFL, but we're setting ourselves up for a good year here. Here we go. Lions Fan Express. Dan Campbell endorsed Swift heavily during his NFL Combine interview. He's staying. Yeah, I agree. I think they like Swifty. They were talking about him a lot, last year, saying just how much of a weapon he is when he's out there on the field, and they really just need to emphasize keeping him healthy this year. They kind of saw last year maybe he can't be the 3 down, every down back that you want him to be for the whole entire season, but he's definitely effective during the game every game when he's healthy. So they just got to do that a little bit better. Keep him healthy. It's the NFL. You're going to get banged up. Most guys play hurt at some point during the season. But just keep Swift as healthy as possible. And I think we'll be good. Here we go. Lion King. What's up, Lion King? Good to see you in here. Is Jared Goff our franchise QB? I say no, we need a QB rookie deal. All right, we're here. I did talk about earlier that we could potentially draft a QB with the number 6 pick now with what we did in free agency, and it's looking like it might happen. I think Jared Goff is definitely our QB this year and next year. Now, Jared is a good quarterback who knows how to run this system. Do I think we can upgrade? Absolutely. But am I willing to risk that on a rookie? I don't know. But that's why I think you're right with we draft a rookie this year. Get him in there. Let him sit behind Jared for 2 years. Maybe just 1 year. Learn the system. We got the weapons for years to come set up for this guy. I think you're right. I don't see Jared Goff being the franchise quarterback for years to come. Not saying that he's necessarily a bridge quarterback, even though he is going to kind of transition from, he's going to be there for a few years for us. So I think that Jared Goff's time in Detroit is very valuable, and I love the guy. What he did last year was amazing, and I think he's going to do it again this year. I think he's going to be great for us. But I think that a lot of that has to do with what's around him and the offensive coordinator. I'm not saying – I already said Jared Goff's a good quarterback. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback. We saw his skills. He can hit a target when he's got no pressure, and he did a lot better this year, handling the pressure. But quarterbacks – Brad Holmes said it. I didn't say this. They tend to get worse before they get better. And so with that statement, I think that maybe we are going for a quarterback at 6, our quarterback of the future, especially with what we did in free agency, because we could have easily gone out and got our backup already. There's plenty out there, but instead we chose to spend our money on other needs like D-back, bringing back guys, running back. So I could 100% see us going and drafting our quarterback of the future at 6 this year. Good question, Lion King. Love to see you out here. All right, Perry Ball. If you want Swift healthy, don't play him. Come on, man. Get out of here. Swift can take some hits, and he can deliver them as well. I think Swift's getting a bad rep, and I hope he goes out and proves you guys wrong this year. I like Swift. I think he's going to be better than what you think. All right, here we go. Name 3 games this season he actually won. Are you talking about Jared Goff? Yeah, I said I agree with you. No, I don't know who you're talking to. I like Goff, though. I like him. I did not see him go down and do a lot of those comeback games that like Stafford did, going down and really, pushing the offense all by himself. It was a lot of teamwork, but I think that, Jared Goff, he's good. He's a good system quarterback. I'll say that. And I think that he is the best quarterback in the NFC North. Not the NFC, the NFC North. Could be biased, but that's just how I feel. No QBs worth it at 6. All right. We got that. So you don't think that, I do feel that Young from Alabama will be gone. C.J. Stroud will probably be gone. I think if it's between anybody, it's going to be Richardson and Levis, however you say his name. Kentucky quarterback, Florida quarterback. If you want to go with either one of them, I might go Richardson just because his ceiling is through the roof. But I like Jared Goff. But if they decide to go quarterback, I'm not going to be mad. We need some future setup here. Quarterbacks do last a lot longer in this league. I don't know if Jared's that guy. He's already not very mobile. He does pick up some first down runs with his legs sometimes, but this league is changing. The speeds, it's getting a lot faster. So maybe it's time to get our quarterback of the future right now. Here we go. That's why we need O-line, D-line, and running back in the draft. Give Goff the best chance to win. Okay, I do agree that we need to go get some more D-line help and O-line help. We also, I feel like, need to get another young linebacker. I would not mind getting a running back. I know you don't like Swift. I already see that. But, yeah, I mean, if we can – I'm not going to be mad either if they decide to extend Jared Goff and make him the QB of our future. If they keep setting up all the pieces around him, he's really – going to have his opportunity to show if he can actually be, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's already taken a team to the Super Bowl. Now he's got to reach that next pinnacle in his life, and that's to win a Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions. And if he does, give him all the money, build him a statue. You know how it goes. He's a QB for life. If that happens, I don't care if he's 90 years old. He won a Super Bowl in Detroit. No, I'm not trying to be that way. I want to, of course, if we win one Super Bowl, I want to win multiple ones. I'm greedy like that, but I just want to get one first. And if Jared brings a Super Bowl to Detroit, then forget about any other quarterback for some years to come. He's the guy. Alrighty. Here we go. Yeah, Young's definitely going to be gone for sure. I like him too, and I know that Jameson Williams wants to bring him. By the way, did anybody see Jameson Williams' live Instagram thing? He was out there saying, if you're not a Lions fan before this year, we don't want and I don't know how he said it in different ways, but he said, we don't want no new Lions fans. He goes, we got our fans already. He even said we got like 21 fans. I don't know what the heck that was about. But pretty much he said they're coming this year. No new fans. And I agree. We've been struggling through this for a long time. Put up with enough bad seasons to where if you want to be a bandwagon on the Lions now, get out of here, man. We're all been diehards for years to come. It's time for us to shine, not for you to come and hop on this nice shiny wagon that we're going to take all the way to the Super Bowl, hopefully one year. But I agree with him. I agree with J-Mo. I just had to touch on that real quick. But yeah, I'm going to hop into the comments for a few more, and then I got to get out of here. But this has been a good episode with you guys this week. I love all the comments. You guys keep me entertained. I love the back and forth, different opinions here. This is what it's all about. This is why we like football, right? We get to talk crap to each other. Get JJ next year. Okay. That's another thing that I keep seeing too. We could get a quarterback next year, and I wouldn't mind that, but are we going to have another top 10 pick? I don't think so. At least I hope not, because I hope that we're balling out next year. But maybe we trade back one pick with the Raiders and we pick up their first round pick next year because they'll be done with it. But I would like that. But we'll see what happens. That's the point. Here we go. Hatter's House at Lion King. That's the point. We don't want our QB to always have us win the game. Yeah, you're right about that. We want to be in control. We want to go out there and have that game in our hands with the last 2 minutes to go. It's we can run the clock out. We've already done enough. We're just that dominant. But I think that Jared has proven with a few games in the past, once he's been there with the Lions, that we can go down there and win a game in the last second. Our first win, his first win as a Lion, and the first win under Dan Campbell was a last-second touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings, who had a better defense that year than they did last year. So I think that Goff has proven he can go down last second and win the game. I know what you mean, though. But, yeah, Hatter's House, I agree with you on that point, saying the whole point is to just be out in front and dominate from the first place. It is the NFL. You're not going to have that every game. There's going to be games that come down to the wire more often than not, probably. But if we can go out there and dominate, that's a lot better than leaving it up to your quarterback at the end. You're right. All right. What's your thoughts on drafting Hooker in the third if he's there? Now, that's somebody that I wouldn't mind at all. If we pass up on quarterback at 6 and 18, I was going to touch on this. A lot of people, we're talking about the Tennessee quarterback. He had a great year before he got hurt. A lot of people are giving him a bad rep because he's a little bit of an older quarterback coming into the draft along with the Georgia quarterback. And they're like, well, why isn't Hooker getting the bad rep that the Georgia quarterback is? Well, the Georgia quarterback's a lot shorter. Doesn't have the size or the intangibles. Hooker's like, 6'4", 220. The guy's athleticism is out of this world. His arm strength is crazy. He's got what it takes if he's developed in the right way. So I think I would rather go that route. Get a better player, to help our defense, or I wouldn't mind Jalen Carter at 6 now. I'm starting to kind of convince myself, even though he's got character issues. But regardless, I would rather maybe go a different way at 6 and 18. Even though I said I think that we're leaning towards a quarterback at 6, I would rather go with the different position, 6 and 18, get Hooker in the 3rd round. Would not mind that at all. I like your thinking there. All right, here we go. Lion King, Hatter's House. We need that in the playoffs. All right, I'm going to let you guys are battling there. I'm going to let you guys do that. If they want a QB, take Hooker at 18 or in the 2nd round. I think it's a reach at 18. And then in the 2nd round, I think we could use it for more valuable picks. Yeah, there's no guarantee he'll be there at the 3rd. I see what you're saying. So if we want him, we maybe have to get him a little bit earlier. But I think he might be a guy that drops to the 3rd. And I think it might be worth taking the risk. But, we could say this every year. There's going to be a guy next year that's better. And we don't know until they get into the NFL and have reps and we see how they play. Some guys look great their rookie year and then fall off in their 2nd and 3rd year. And sometimes it's the opposite way. Look at Jalen Hurts. Everybody was writing him off in Philly. They kept signing a new quarterback. This was his first year to really come out and show what he had. And he came out and he shows what he had. So, it's never a guarantee. It's a crapshoot in the draft. And Brad Holmes just happens to be good at it. All right. A few more comments, then I'm going to get out of here. I like Hooker to sit behind Goff for a couple years. Me as well. I agree, Stanley. QB are getting paid big money. Teams willing to take that risk. Yes, you're right, Perry. I think I agree with you on that one. Okay. And you know what? Any more questions? Otherwise, I'm getting out of here. I will answer any more of your questions, but I want to ask you guys one more question. Since you guys have been, asking me who I think we should take at 6 and 18. Who do you guys think we should take at 6 and 18? My gosh. I did see, some guys saying quarterback, whatnot, but what's your ideal pick at 6? We'll just say that right now. I'll give you guys a minute or two. Your ideal pick at 6, you can put position, you can put player, but I want to know what your ideal pick at number 6 is, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do a mock draft here during the middle of this week. I'll stick to one and done. It'll be my mock 2.0. This is after 2 weeks of free agency, and we'll get into that next week. Hopefully we make some more big moves. I would like to re-sign Shark. I don't know what you guys think. Hopefully for a good deal. But if not, wide receiver in the draft for me. But here we go. 6, Hatter's House. 6, I want Carter or Cansey. Cansey at 6. A lot of people compared him to Aaron Donald, and Brad Holmes is the one who scouted Aaron Donald. You never know. 18, I want Bijan or best edge rusher. I like that. QB, Lion King. I see you. I know where you're at. We've already been talking about that, and like I said, I wouldn't be mad. Perry, Carter, if the Lions do their due diligence. If not, Mr. Robinson at 6 and 18, right, OT, Tennessee. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some offensive line help now earlier on, because we did kind of help out the defense here in free agency. But, yeah, love that. Wouldn't mind getting an offensive tackle early on in the draft either. 6th, an RB. Woo, you talking about Bijan? And at 18, a linebacker. All right. We do need not necessarily need a running back anymore. If we plan on getting rid of Swift, definitely going to have to fill that need. So would be good to get a running back this year. If we're moving on from Swift next year, or if they see it happening that way, might as well draft a good running back this year. Linebacker too. I think that we could wait a little bit. I don't mind doing that, but I think that we could wait to the 2nd round, get a guy like maybe Trenton Simpson drops back there, Jack Campbell. I really would like a linebacker. I like Anzalone. I like Malcolm Rodriguez. I like Barnes, but I think that it would be very beneficial to add another young linebacker to the mix, especially one who can make an impact right away and can just help out with depth. We can just rotate the guys in. He can learn under Anzalone and then be that next guy to take over once he's gone. Alrighty, here we go. The best linebacker will be there for us in the second. That's what Hatter's House says. Yes, I agree as well. I'm super high on Zach Chatterbox. Yeah, if he's there in the third round pick, okay. There is some depth at running back in this draft. So, yeah, a lot of guys think it's Bijan or bust or the guy from Alabama in the second round, but there is a lot of good running backs in this draft class. I think you're onto something there with him at the third. So I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to talk more about this in the coming weeks. The draft's getting closer and closer. I'm getting more excited because we've seen Brad Holmes cook in free agency. Well, you're going to really see what happens here in the draft. We've had each year our guys that he's drafted actually make an impact in their first year. So this is looking like a promising year. There's no guarantees in the NFL, but I got to say as a Lions fan, this is the most excited I've been in years. All right, you guys, I hope you all have a great day. I will be here next Tuesday, as usual, 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. West Coast. Until next time, y'all, peace.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!